Welcome to our lesson on principles related to child and adolescent learners. Today, we will delve into key concepts that are crucial for understanding how young individuals develop, learn, and interact with their world. First principle: the child or adolescent should, among other things, be considered as a living human being. When we refer to children and adolescents as living human beings, we acknowledge that they are complex individuals with unique needs and potentials. They undergo continuous growth and development influenced by both hereditary, nature, and environmental, nurture, factors. Nature versus nurture. Nature refers to the genetic endowments a child is born with, such as intelligence, temperament, and physical traits. These traits are inherent and set the stage for potential development. Nurture refers to the external influences that shape a child's growth, including education, family environment, social interactions, and cultural context. These influences can enhance or inhibit the development of inherited traits. For example, a child may have a genetic predisposition for musical talent, nature, but their ability to excel in music will also depend on their access to musical education, practice opportunities, and encouragement from family and teachers, nurture. Second principle: no two individuals as the learners we are studying about are exactly alike. This simply means that each learner is unique with their own pace and style of learning. This principle emphasizes the need for personalized education that respects and accommodates these individual differences. Consider a classroom where students are given a project. One student might excel with a visual presentation, another with a written report, and another with a hands-on demonstration. Tailoring assignments to fit these different learning preferences can enhance each student's learning experience. Third principle says that the three elements, increase in size, differentiation of structure, and alteration of form, constitute something more than simple growth. Growth is not just about getting bigger. It involves three key elements. 1. Increase in size refers to the physical growth of the body. 2. Differentiation of structure involves the development of specialized functions and features in the body. 3. Alteration of form includes changes in shape and function that occur over time, such as the development of motor skills and cognitive abilities. For example, during adolescence, a person not only grows taller, increase in size, but also experiences changes such as the development of secondary sexual characteristics, differentiation of structure, and improvements in cognitive abilities like problem solving and abstract thinking, alteration of form. These changes reflect a more complex process of development beyond mere physical growth. Next. Fourth principle states that science now knows that all children grow in much of the same pattern, rapidly at first, then more slowly, but very quickly indeed when puberty arrives. While there is variation in individual growth rates, children generally follow a predictable growth pattern. Understanding this helps in anticipating developmental needs and providing appropriate support. A young child might experience rapid growth in height and motor skills during early childhood. As they reach middle childhood, growth may slow down, but a growth spurt during puberty will bring significant physical and hormonal changes. Educators and parents can use this knowledge to support children through each growth phase. On the next principle, it says here that learners respond rapidly to different academic stimuli. This means that children and adolescents react quickly to various educational stimuli. This responsiveness means that their learning can be influenced by different teaching methods, materials, and classroom environments. For example, a student might show a heightened interest in a subject when taught using interactive activities and multimedia resources compared to traditional lectures. Recognizing these reactions allows teachers to adapt their methods to better engage students and foster a more effective learning environment. On the last principle we're going to discuss today, it says here that nearly all human behavior is learned rather than inherited. Stay for a little longer because I'm going to discuss this principle more detailed. Behavior is largely shaped by experiences and interactions rather than solely by genetic inheritance. This principle highlights the role of learning environments and social interactions in developing behavior. For example, a child may have inherited a predisposition towards aggression, but their behavior is influenced by their environment, such as parenting style, peer interactions, and social experiences. Positive reinforcement, modeling appropriate behavior, and creating supportive environments can help guide behavior in constructive ways. Let's start with learned behaviors. These are behaviors that are not present at birth but are developed through experiences and interactions with the environment. Essentially, these behaviors are acquired over time as we engage with our surroundings and social contexts. Examples. Language acquisition. Consider how children learn to speak. If a child grows up in a bilingual household, they learn both languages through interaction and practice, not because they are born with the ability to speak multiple languages. This process involves listening, imitating, and using the language in daily conversations. Social etiquette. Another example is learning manners. Children learn to say please and thank you by observing and mimicking adults in their lives. This learning process involves repeated practice and reinforcement from parents and teachers. Academic skills. Think about how students acquire academic skills like reading and math. These skills are learned through education and practice, not inherited at birth. Students need to be taught and guided through these concepts. Emotional responses, such as coping with frustration, are also learned. For instance, a child might learn to manage stress by observing how their parents handle difficult situations. Now, let's discuss inherited behaviors. Unlike learned behaviors, these are present from birth and are influenced by our genetics. They include basic instincts and reflexes that we are born with and don't require learning through experience. Examples. Reflexes. For example, the sucking reflex in newborns is an automatic response. When something touches their lips, they instinctively suckle. This behavior is crucial for feeding and survival. Instinctual reactions. Another example is the fight or flight response. This physiological reaction prepares our body to either fight or flee from perceived threats. It's an inherited survival mechanism. Predisposition to certain temperaments. Some temperamental traits, such as being naturally anxious or calm, can be inherited. For example, a child who shows a tendency towards high levels of anxiety might have inherited this trait, influencing their response to stress. To clarify, the principle that nearly all human behavior is learned rather than inherited emphasizes the significant role of the environment and experiences in shaping behavior. While our genetic makeup provides a foundation, much of how we act, react, and interact is learned through our experiences and social interactions. Understanding the difference between learned and inherited behaviors helps us recognize that while genetics set the stage, it is our experiences that largely determine how we behave. This insight is crucial for educators and caregivers as it highlights the importance of creating positive environments and opportunities for growth. In summary, understanding these principles provides a comprehensive view of how children and adolescents grow and learn. Recognizing the interplay between nature and nurture, appreciating individual differences, and acknowledging the stages of development allows us to support young learners effectively. Thank you for participating in this lesson on the principles of child and adolescent learners. These insights are essential for creating supportive and effective educational environments.